So Axie Infinity is number one, followed by Sandbox, and then there's a lot of other projects, you know, that are running on the metaverse. And then, like we said in the last class, that this is the future, and it's coming to us fast. So and then one of the things I like saying, if you've been around, is that in this age and time, what is driving the economy is knowledge. You know, the more you know, the more you earn. That's a that's a popular saying this age. You cannot afford not to know, and you know, because else you'll be left behind. So Doku, I want you can take over from here. I think we have sizable amount so that we can round up on time.
Okay.
You can share your screen.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good evening, everybody. Please let me know if you can see my screen.
Yeah. I can see your screen.
Okay. So I'll just quickly do a recap of what we talked about on Friday, and then we'll continue from here. Remember, the metaverse is an idea whose time has come. And when an idea's time has come, there's nothing on this planet that can stop it. So many people from different parts of the world will be thinking about it at the same time, you know. And this thing started, I mean, the first time the word metaverse was used was 1992 by Neil Stephenson. And he wrote a whole book about it. And since then, things have been evolving till date, you know. And it's amazing how some of these technologies, even though they're not new, they hide them and they start dropping them for us in movies. I mean, does anybody remember Enemy of the State? How they were using satellites to track Will Smith and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And
I remember that movie by Will Smith.
By Will Smith, yeah. And then there was this movie as well, Minority Report.
Yeah.
You know, how they'll just use their hands to be like controlling some stuff on the screen. You know, all of those things, they're not just taking them from their minds. They're actually things that they're working on. And remember in Matrix where you connect something to the back of your head and then you are in one world. You know, all of those things are what we're going to, that's the era we're going into now. And we just have to position ourselves, you know, to take advantage. So let me just show you one of the most powerful pictures about the metaverse that scares me. This picture scares me a lot. And you know why it scares me? Can you see that this guy has been programmed? He doesn't have a house, he doesn't have a home, he doesn't have anything. He's a beggar on the street, but he has Oculus on and is living in one fantastical reality. You know, he's living in the metaverse. He can be anything. He could have, for all you know, he might just be a billionaire within that white Oculus. Who knows? But in real life, he's a loner. He doesn't have a family. He doesn't have money. He doesn't have a place to stay. He begs on the street, you know? And this is what will happen to a lot of people because, number one, metaverse is not just in isolation. AI is going to be there. On the metaverse, some of the creatures there will be artificial intelligence. And because all of us are wearing, you know, we're using avatars, we're not really human beings. You really cannot tell who is a human being and who is a machine anymore. I mean, I was checking out one software today called Speechello. Speechello is just pure AI. And this AI it has the tone of the voices of people. You won't even know it's not a human being that is talking. But a lot of jobs will disappear in that metaverse. You know, jobs that a machine can do, jobs that, you know, a lot of people can replace you with, all of those jobs are going. So the kind of jobs that would last are jobs of creators. You know, you just have to be a creator one way or the other. Either you're creating digital art or you're creating music. By the way, just recently, Don Jazzy made $300,000 in about 10 minutes with NFTs. So it is not that far away anymore. It is already within our community. When Binance was launching, before they started the NFT marketplace, they had already collaborated with guys like MI and some Nigerian artists that would be, they'll be like the first set of people to create content that will be sold on their platform. So these things are here to stay. Now, everything in the metaverse will be an NFT. The land will be an NFT. Oculus and all those gadgets, well, there'll be physical gadgets that we'll be wearing. The clothes will be an NFT, because if you have an avatar, you will not be walking around naked in the metaverse when everybody else is dressed. You will buy clothes. We saw in the last class that Adidas is online now. We also saw that Nike has been there before. And so many organizations, Gucci is there powerfully in the metaverse. And you know what I discovered today? These guys are not even in one metaverse. They're in different metaverses, because the different metaverses have different characteristics. There's one that is Treeverse. Treeverse is just like everything there is like Lego. There's another one that is like War of Crafts, that kind of setting. So now that we have no doubt in our minds that this is the future, the question is, how do we take advantage? Well, we need to take advantage. There's this saying that inch by inch, everything is a cinch. So if you start small and you gradually begin to build the skill and the portfolio you want, you can actually do whatever it is you want. Okay, so we're going to talk about NFTs, because NFTs, everything in the metaverse, like I'm saying again, will be an NFT. Every single thing, So what is an NFT? Before we go into all this technical stuff, let me just, the best, I was just meditating about NFTs today, and I realized that the best explanation that will make anybody, whether the person is educated or not, to know what an NFT is just to look at yourself. You're a human being, and on this planet, there are like 7.8 to 8 billion people, right? But do you know that out of the 8 billion people on this planet, not one of us is the same? Our DNAs prove it, that we are not the same. No matter how much you look like me, our DNAs can never be the same. Even if I have an identical twin brother, our DNAs can never be the same. So we are actually non-fungible human beings. So non-fungibility is not so far from us. This idea of non-fungible tokens is not far from us at all. It is actually who we are. We're all unique and that is why God places so, I'm a Christian and I read my Bible, and the Bible talks about God valuing us so much that he gave his son to die. He says we are more precious than anything on this planet. So if you are unique and there is only one of you, then you have to be very precious. If you think about it. So if you understand that you are like a non-fungible human being, you're not a token because you're not a set of codes, but you are non-fungible, then that will give you a foundational understanding of what it means to be non-fungible. So a non-fungible token is actually a digital item that can be created, it can be sold or minted or purchased on the open market. And when you own it, you control it. As long as it is your own and it is provable that it's your own, then you can do whatever it is you like with it. And you don't need permission of any body or organization or any centralized company. Okay, so for NFTs to have lasting value, they must be independent of an entity. Remember in the last class, I was talking about how Fortnite, they sold over $1 billion worth of digital assets on their platform. But Fortnite is a game that belongs to Epic Games, a company called Epic Games, and it is centralized. If Epic Games go down the drain, all of those assets that people have spent $1 billion to buy will go down the drain, because an entity owns it and an entity controls it. So what we're talking about here is independent entity. It means that once you buy your non-fungible token and the transaction is stored on the blockchain, nobody can claim that it is your own. That it is not your own. So imagine now that you go to the front of Dangote's house and you take a picture. Some people say, oh, NFTs are pictures. Well, NFTs are more than pictures, but let's just use pictures for as an example. Some people will say that, it's a picture and I can snap it. Yeah, you can snap it, but you can't claim it's your own. Because if they tell you to produce evidence that is your own, that the evidence you're asking you for is not that it is on your laptop or it is on your phone. And that is why the blockchain is an integral part of NFTs. Because once you mint it, a transaction is captured and stored permanently on a public ledger that is unhackable, and it will say that this person with this address owns it. It may not put your name, but you can prove it with your private key, because all you have to do is unlock your wallet, and then it is right there, you know. So this is a property that makes NFTs more valuable, that will make NFTs in the long run more valuable than cryptos, because every crypto is fungible. Bitcoin is fungible. Yes, you can break it down into Satoshis, but one Bitcoin is one Bitcoin is one Bitcoin. That's why we can use it on Huobi, and you can transfer it to your wallet on Binance, and transfer it to Coinbase, and transfer it to any other place, because one Bitcoin is one Bitcoin is one Bitcoin on all those places, you know. Okay, so NFTs are one of a kind. They're unique digital assets. So whether it is by a popular artist or it is not by a popular artist, whether it is by a child or by a grandmother, NFTs are unique digital assets. Now the question now comes down to this: who wants your NFT? You know. So before we go on, let me just quickly talk about the history of NFTs. People think CryptoPunks are actually the first NFTs. No, they're not. In 2012, there was a project called Colored Coins, and that was the project that actually proved the commercial viability of unique digital assets that are stored on the blockchain. It was on the Bitcoin blockchain, you know, but you know, the Bitcoin blockchain is not as versatile as Ethereum virtual machine. And it is Ethereum that incorporated this idea of people using smart contracts. And that opened a different world of opportunities to people. You know, people talk about Ethereum gas fees being very high, but I still tell you, until you can find 200,000 coders on your blockchain, you cannot knock out Ethereum. You need to go and find those 200,000 blocks, because these are 200 non-fungible people with unique creativities. All of them know how to code, and all of them have different ideas. And as long as they're on that platform, they will continue to create unique stuff, you know. So one thing that is revolutionary about NFTs is once you buy one, you have control over it, like I've said, until you sell it or until you transfer it to another person. And the moment you sell it and transfer it to another person, I mean, every evidence that you have used to prove that it was your own will now be used against you to prove that you have transferred it to somebody else as well. Okay, so what can you do with an NFT? You can rent it out, you can sell it, you can transfer it, you can collateralize it, you can lend it, you can use it to, you know, do all this yield farming. And in fact, there's a project I'm on right now called the Strong Ape Club. What the guy has done, even though I know that it's a bit risky because NFTs are not supposed to be, you know, securities. But what the guy has done is he has said that everybody that has a strong ape in his portfolio, you can actually, as long as you're holding it, you'll be collecting a token, you know, called Vita, string Vita, every day. And if a lot of people adopt that, Vita might just be worth, I mean, I think, I mean, I checked on, was it on Coin the other day? It was about, when it crashed to like $1 something. So it's actually worth $2. So for holding that NFT, you can actually, you know, be earning money. And that's part of the utilities that is now making NFTs different from the era of, you know, colored coins and CryptoPunks. Because CryptoPunks, the only thing it does for you is it says you're an OG, you know, you have money, and that's about it. It's just about bragging and flexing. But one of the case studies we're going to take this evening, the Bored Ape Yacht Club, is actually about utility more than anything else, and connection and networking more than anything else. And those guys also, because they understand that SEC, they don't want SEC wahala, they've been talking to one of the #1 law firms in securities and, you know, blockchain and NFT space about how they can go about creating their own token. You know, they've been doing that. They've been talking about it with those guys since October. You know, so I'm sure something is in the works. But, you know, once you start to create a security, you're finding the trouble of SEC and co. You know, so we'll see how that one pans out. All right. So why will NFTs matter? NFTs will be like they'll be like social currency. You know, #1, we talk about how you can use your tokens to flex. You know,
This is much to maintain for its true legitimate, right?
Okay, I need to mute someone.
Let's don't. She's gonna sleep. Actually.
Hello, please can you mute yourself?
And I have
Or
that's
I
my
can find you and mute you.
so much. And I can't do it with Blackbird and
Okay. Okay. Okay, so we've talked about flexing and all of that. You know, I'm going to mention one of my one of my favorite guys on the platform. Abiola Amao. Abiola, I know that he loves designers a lot. And there's a reason why he does that. You know, first of all, I can bet is about the personal feeling of, you know, wearing something that is good and how, I mean, it's a sign of self-worth. If you love yourself so much that you go and get something very expensive, you know, so designer brands are getting into NFTs. Like I said, I mentioned Gucci the other time. I mean, just like people flex with their private jets, the truth is you don't really need a private jet. You can travel first class. You can get anywhere in the world. You don't have to spend money to buy a private jet. You can rent a private jet, you know. I mean, the way we all love Rolls Royces, we all love yachts, homes, that blue tick on Instagram, it's all bragging rights, you know. That's just the way we are as human beings. And that's one of the things an NFT will give you, whether you like to brag or not. Once you own an NFT, you're the only one that owns it. So there's that social currency. And it's getting to the point where people are now asking questions about what kind of tokens do you do crypto? It's a community. You realize that once you talk to someone that does crypto, whether you know the person from Adam or not, you have a point of bonding, you know, and that's the way it is with sports. Those that like to cook, those of us that are martial artists. I mean, I do taekwondo and Krav Maga and judo. And so if I meet anybody anywhere that does any of those three things, we have something to use to bond, you know. And that's the way it is with social currency as well. The cryptos you own, the places where you own land in the metaverse, you know, you use it to bond with people. So NFTs are becoming currencies of communication, like followers, you know, on social media, like blue checks on Instagram, like the expensive items we wear. And this is how human beings have been for a long, long, long time. But you see, the difference between all of these other ones, you know, and what NFTs will do for you is you can actually show your NFTs to more people because it's a digital thing. You know, I mean, if you go to someone's house in Banana Island, he cannot carry the best he can do is take pictures of his house and flood it on social media. But then he has to digitize it before he can make it public. Or somebody has to come and do a tour. You know, there used to be NFT. There used to be MTV cribs, you know, where they'll come and like take you around your house. That's the best you can do to show yourself. But if you own something that is public, anybody can go and check it out on the blockchain. You know, anybody can go into your address and check it. They can't access your money or anything because they don't have the private key, but they know how much. I mean, you can go to Steph Curry's wallet on Etherscan and go and check how much is there. Check all his NFTs and all of those kind of stuff because it is his own, it is open, but you cannot access it because you don't have the private key, you know. So you also have to realize that NFTs are programmable. So they can actually be coded and can work with a set of instructions. Number one, they're not divisible, they're indivisible. One Bitcoin can be broken down to about 100 million Satoshis or something like that. NFTs cannot be broken down, okay? If you want to own part of an NFT that somebody else owns, I'm going to talk about that as we go along. It's a different model entirely, but you can't break an NFT down. And then they're provably scarce, meaning that I can prove that I'm the only one that owns an NFT. They're unique, like I said about human beings, and then they're easily transferable. All I have to do is just send it to you on the blockchain to your wallet address. And then they're fraud proof. Remember in the last class, I was talking about how one guy stole somebody else's work. NFTs are fraud proof. So the owner of the work could prove that he was the owner, you know, because when you do a transaction, there's a transaction hash that carries a timestamp. So the moment that guy put his work on the blockchain and somebody else stole it, you will know that the original person is the one that put his work there first. So it is fraud proof. You can prove ownership like that. So examples of NFTs. Number one, subscriptions. Anything you subscribe to, you can convert to an NFT. Number two, access, like tickets and stuff like that. That's an NFT. art, that's the one that is booming right now. But from next year, I mean, it's going to change because corporate guys are coming big time into NFTs with their billions next year. Music, I've talked about how Don Jazzy did $300,000 in about 10 minutes. You know, discount card. So shops like Mr. Biggs, places like Walmart, all those places can do NFTs. Insurance policy, it can be tokenized. Tweets, this one I really like it because Jack, that founder of what's it called now, of Twitter, he actually sold his first tweet. That was when Twitter was TWTTR, not the spelling that we know it to be now. You know, he sold his first tweet for $2.5 million and then he donated part of that money to charity. But what they didn't tell us was whether there was royalty in that money or not. Because as long as there's royalty in that thing, anytime anybody sells, if the charity decides to sell Jack's tweet, you know, and it's a piece of history, that's why it's valuable. Number one, Jack is a billionaire. Number two, Jack is a founder of Twitter. And number three, Jack was the first person that tweeted on Twitter. And those are the reasons why his tweets are very, I mean, that tweet went for 2.5 billion. It was auctioned, I think, at Sotheby's or something, or Christie's. I don't remember which one. You know, so that's that. Memes. I mean, you can create meme. There's this guy that did PP the frog, one ugly frog like this that you see on a lot of people's WhatsApp these days. It was actually one guy that created it, and he didn't know the value of it until recently. When he now discovered that people were using his meme, that PP the frog, to make money as NFTs. So he started fighting everybody, and then started taking ownership again. And he got a lawyer, and they were proving that it was his own. So memes can be NFTs. VIP cards can be NFTs. There's a project I'm on, and the guy told us that if we buy some of it, it was a Camel project, that if we buy those Camel NFTs, it was going to send us a premium card. And I checked my wallet the other day, and I found out that he had sent a premium card, you know, a gold card. Some other people got a black card. Some other people got a premium card. And all of those cards have different levels of, you know, get levels, you know. So me that I have this list of them that's like a gold card, there's some, I will have some discounts to the future products. And then the guys that have like the platinum card and the gold card, and the black cards, those ones have higher privileges. But if you don't have any of these NFTs, then you don't even belong to that category. You know, concert tickets as well. I mean, you can sell concert tickets and sell to your fans and tell them, look, if you buy this ticket, if you buy this NFT, you just present it at my concert, and you are free to. I mean, the bouncers will let you in, you know. And as long as you can be producing that NFTs, you'll be going for free concerts. Add media spots as well on Blocktopia and all those places. You can actually own your own property. That they will put your own, like your signage, all those neon signs, they'll put it there. And that's like free advertising on the metaverse at the moment. You know, virtual cars, there's a particular game, you know, called Kart Racing League. You can actually buy an NFT, and these racers, they will have their own virtual cars, and you use it to race, and you can evolve your car. You know, you earn in that particular game, you can earn something called EOC tokens. And those EOC tokens, you can use it to evolve your NFT, and then you can get more than one NFT, and then you can improve the cars and stuff like that. Virtual clothes, like I said earlier, I mean, Nike is making shoes for the metaverse, shoes that you not really wear on your physical legs, but you wear on your, you know, avatar or metaverse legs. Virtual pets, perfect example. Axie Infinity, all those breeding of all those things. You know, of course, there's virtual land, which is like the basis of everything, because that is where you build all your infrastructure and all the businesses and all of that. Domain names, you know, I mean, ENS, they're selling .eth domain names. So you can actually buy .eth, you know, and auction it. If it's not your personal name, you know, you can buy like something.eth, maybe business.eth. I'm sure that one will be it will be a premium one, because I remember in the .com space when people bought they bought every word in the dictionary that has .com. So people now started joining words together. Instead of doing car.com, they now started doing virtualcar.com, because everybody, they had bought every single word in the dictionary, and people were auctioning for them during the .com boom, you know. So tweets, talked about that, is featuring again. In-game items, we talked about that as well with Fortnite. Photos, game cards, 3D models, identity, even jewelry. You can tokenize your jewelry as well. You know, I saw this guy, he created an NFT, you know, and then he got a designer to like make their frames that you can use. you know, to if you want to make your NFT really physical, you can take an NFT, maybe an image or something, and you can buy an NFT frame and put it inside, connect it via maybe USB or something, put it inside, and then you can hang it on your wall. And then if your NFT is dynamic, it can actually be moving. You can see movement, and you can hang it on your wall. You know, so what this guy did was he took his own NFT, did a small frame, and then he now gold plated the frame. So it was like wearing his NFT jewelry. And then physical assets, you can tokenize a house. You know, you can tokenize a physical estate where people will contribute money, and then depending on how much, maybe like just like they do all these pre-sales and, you know, initial coin offering and stuff like that. You can do something like that. Okay, so we have this estate is worth so and so and so and so. Minimum contribution is 10 BNB or 1 BNB, and then you own a fraction of that estate, and it's a physical estate. So, you know, so it's just a smart contract that will do all of that. Okay, so before you buy land on the metaverse, what do you need to do? We're going to be talking about buying land on the metaverse because it's still at the moment is like the in thing. Number one, you need to check that metaverse. Is it the right platform for you? I'll give an example. Decentraland has been around for 4 years. That means they know what they're doing. And you can see, you can go and check the trends of how much their land has been going for in the past 4 years. So if you buy property on Decentraland, you know that, okay, yes, nobody knows the future, but these guys have proven, I mean, they've stood the test of time. There are new platforms that are creating metaverses. There's a particular one that I'll show you today. It's on Binance Smart Chain. I mean, you can buy a plot of land. The most expensive plot of land on that blockchain is 20 BNB. And I know that there are people in the group that can afford that easily, you know. And even if you can't afford it, the cheapest land there is 1 BNB. That's about, currently with this deep, it's less than $600. You know, so you can actually own land on that kind of thing. But those guys don't really have a track record because they just launched in September 2021. You know, so of course, it may be a good experience for you, but that one also, you don't know the antecedents. I mean, the guy that is the CEO, he didn't really do anything in blockchain before, you know, until he just became the CEO of this company. I was checking him out today on LinkedIn, you know. So that's a risk you have to decide whether you want to take or not. But then they have a good concept, and a lot of people are buying it, and their token is doing well on CoinMarketCap, you know. So that is another thing you need to consider. Number 3, where are the big boys going? I mean, if you're on a metaverse that already has, I mean, I can tell you for sure that Binance is on Decentraland. They bought land on Decentraland. I know that some of these big boys in the crypto space have bought land there. Some other brands have bought land there as well. So you know, they say you should follow the money. And there's this local balance that say follow who no road. You know, so if you see that the big boys are flocking to a particular metaverse, that's an indication of where you can go and buy land. But you also know what that means. They're competing against big money. You know, people that can dole out maybe like 1,000 Ethereum without even thinking about it. You know, so you need to, weigh what I like to do is get all the information I need and then make a quality decision based on the current capabilities I have or where I aspire to be. You know, so you don't just go and buy land in some ecosystem or some blockchain that will not last or that will just go and collapse, you know. So you need to think of how you harness the ecosystem. So the other day we saw how Snoop Dogg bought land on Sandbox, and what he was using the major property to do, or what he plans to use the major property to do, is to create like a gallery or a museum where he would display his NFTs. And I can tell you for free that at the beginning, or maybe on the opening day, it may be free, but I don't think it will be free, because on OpenSea, that guy was selling some tickets, to the launch of that program, and the cheapest I saw was like 1.5 Ethereum, and some people bought it, So how does the platform have recognizable brands and people, what you want to do is you want to be in a setting that will upgrade you. You get? I was reading one guy, just as an aside, one guy, Onassis, was a Greek billionaire. He's late now. He was the he married Kenny's wife, JFK's wife. They said that if he loses all his money, what will he do? He said he'll just go and find where the richest people are, and he'll just be hanging around it as a broke guy. You know, that there's a mindset, there's an energy in that setting. So you want to apply that to your buying of property on the metaverse. I mean, you need to go to where people are, you know, offer them value, and then you can easily network with them and do stuff with them. That's why a lot of people go to Banana Island, because they want to be close to Mike Adenuga's, you know, and all the Dantatas and all those guys. You know, so there's a way the rich people behave, and if they see that you're like them, you know, you may just get an access into their setting. So consider that when you want to buy land in the metaverse, because I would advise not to consider the immediate cost of the land, because the cheapest land now on Sandbox is about 3.2 Ethereum. But how much will it be worth in 6 months, in 10 years? That should be what is guiding your decision making. Okay, so like I said, location. You know, that's number one. Number two, ignore this topic. It's not we're not doing the case study at the moment. I forgot to edit that part. You know, so location is what I've just talked about. Number two, the owners of the blockchain where the property is. Do they have development tools? Do they have an ecosystem that is huge, that is growing? That's why I'm a bit bullish on Ethereum, because they have 200,000 developers. You know what it means for 200,000 developers to be developing different universes on different metaverses on Ethereum, you know? Okay, so that's very important. And then what is the velocity of innovation on the platform? That means that if you look at the blockchain space, which of these blockchains is the one that's is like the fastest growing? You know, if you can know which one is the fastest growing, then of course you know that is like the most innovative. You know, so you want to consider that as well, because the truth of the matter is Solana will have his own metaverse. Cardano will have his own metaverse. Huobi and all of them on their blockchains, they will have their own metaverses. You know, so you want to look at what is driving innovation there, and then decide where you want to pitch your tent. Okay. So, which projects have popped up in the last 6 months? If a project, if there's a blockchain that has metaverse and the projects, I mean, they're not making noise about it, people are not flocking there, don't put your money in that kind of thing. Okay, because number one, it takes time to build a platform, support tools and all of those things. It takes time, you know, and then of course an audience. It takes, pardon I was just bringing this thing from my head and I was typing, I was making mistakes, but pardon me, you know, support tools and the audience, you know, you want to look at all of those things, because it will determine how the value of your property or the metaverse will increase or stagnate or decrease. So you need to consider all of those as well. And then of course, all of these NFTs end up in your wallet, all right? So you have to make sure your wallet is secure. You have to make sure that if you are transferring, because remember, to even buy any NFT, it starts from, you know, your crypto that is probably on an exchange, whether it's centralized or decentralized. So what I would advise that you do, for instance, is if you have crypto, if you have Ethereum on, say, Binance, for instance, number one, do the complete verification. Because remember, it's going beyond now owning just cryptos. You're also owning NFT assets in your wallet. Of course, you cannot send NFTs, never ever send NFTs to a centralized exchange. You know, you only have to send it to a private wallet. Never ever, because you will lose your NFT. You know, but remember, the money that you're using to buy these NFTs will come from maybe the assets you have been trading or you've stored on your either cold wallet or on the exchange wallet. So for the exchange wallet part, make sure that you do full verification. Make sure that you do your anti-phishing code. Make sure that you do two-factor authentication, email authentication, and SMS authentication. If you have all of those are about 6 or 7 different layers of security. If you have, in fact, before you even send out bulk money, let there be a transaction code as well, so that anybody that is thinking of hacking into your wallet on an exchange will meet several layers of security that they will be discouraged. The easiest way to play into their hands is if you just do email verification or SMS verification alone. You know, so do that. And then for your wallets, for your private wallet, for your cold wallet and Metaverse, what am I saying? MetaMask, Trust Wallet, and all of those ones, make sure you don't let anybody know your seed phrase, But of course, there's also the risk part of it where, God forbid, that someone should just go and die, and then all the millions in his wallet just disappear. They just burns it in quotes, So you need to also maybe create a will or something, because the way these things are going, there was a guy that died earlier in the year, a 41-year-old Australian guy. He was surfing and he was worth over $1 billion, and he died. The waves, drowned him somehow when he was surfing, and nobody knows his private keys. All his $1 billion worth of cryptos, boom, he just burnt it, So you have to consider what you want to do. Either you want to create a will, or you want to have a private safe, educate your loved ones or your trusted ones about your wallets or passwords. Or if you like, you can distribute your passwords among loved ones. And then in your will, you tell them to all come together and keep those, and then maybe use that to access your, God forbid anybody should die. But life is a gift and it's not yours. It can be taken at any time. So you need to prepare for that as well. What you don't want to do is labor, gather your assets together, increase your portfolio, become rich, and then your loved ones can't use it in case of any fatality. All right, so that's number one. Number two, you have to consider the platform, the blockchain risk itself. Now, the more innovation takes place on a blockchain, the higher the number of scammers, the higher the number of dApps. Everybody knows now that a lot of these coins on Binance, a lot of these newly listed coins on Binance rug pull more than anything else. Ethereum used to have that reputation, but now it is Binance that has it. So, and that's because they're driving a lot of innovation. So people just come, they don't have time to verify stuff. They can't audit your contracts. They can't audit your dApps. They just put it on their blockchain. There was a project I was trying to get involved in, and people in the community were asking the guy, okay, so when are you going to list on Binance? He said no, that he's not ready to list on Binance. Why? Because CZ will collect $2 million. You want to list your token on Binance or your crypto on Binance, is $2 million that Binance collects from you. So he's going to the smaller, he's building up his reputation from the smaller, them LA token, them P2P, B2B.io and co, And so you need to consider the risk on those platforms. I know that Binance Smart Chain, they have this SAFU $1 billion insurance. So consider all of those things. Now, also you need to know who the people behind the people building the dApps. What have they done in the past? There are people that will leave other blockchains and go and start their own. That they've been successful in a blockchain, and then they go and start another blockchain. So they're bringing that experience, that reputation, that connection, that everything to go and start another one. And there are guys that will come and tell you that, look, we're just doing our stuff. We have hired developers. So all of these things will matter at the end of the day. Okay, so that's number one. Number two, the place you want to buy land on the metaverse. Is it a layer 1 or layer 2? Now, what do I mean by layer 1 or layer 2? For instance, projects that are built directly on Ethereum blockchain, they're layer 1. But you have projects like Immutable X that are layer 2 and built on Ethereum blockchain. The truth of the matter is layer 2 projects like that can be subject to more attacks than layer 1, So all of this you need to consider. Now, NFTs can be used in DeFi. You can use it to collect collateral. For instance, if you have a Bored Ape Yacht Club, the last time I talked about Bored Ape Yacht Club, that was like on Friday. I checked it that day. It was like 4.42 Ethereum was the cheapest. Today, let me just show you. The cheapest is 55 Ethereum. And the market dipped over the weekend. Think about that. The market dipped over the weekend, but the value of these NFTs went up. These ones, forget all these ones, they're bidding for them. But look at this one. This is still being bidded for. But look at this one. 51.98 Ethereum. That's the floor price. So if you're going, this is the cheapest NFT Bored Ape Yacht Club.
Yep. We can't see what you are showing us now. It's only your slide that we are seeing now.
Oh, sorry. Let me Let me just quickly change it. I'm so
Share.
sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, can you see it now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
So this is the Bored Ape Yacht Club OpenSea marketplace. I mean, look at it. Floor price, that's the cheapest. It's 51.98 Ethereum. Now remember that there was a dip in the market.
Yeah.
Ethereum went down, but the value of these things went up. So forget about all these ones that have the purple Ethereum logo. Let's come to this one here. This is the cheapest.
What's the difference between those ones that have the purple Ethereum logo and the other ones that have the normal logo?
Okay, so these guys are like getting people to bid for it.
Okay.
You know?
More like
they
are still doing an auction, right? They are still bidding
yes,
on
they're
it.
doing auction. They're doing auction. Now, let me just quickly chip this in. If you have one of these NFTs and you don't know the price, you don't know the value of what you have, the best way to find out the value is to come and place it on auction on OpenSea. Okay. Let people start to bid for it. It will give you a good idea of how much it is worth. But what I'm trying to say is, the last time I came here, the cheapest one was 42 Ethereum. Now the value has gone up by 9 Ethereum, or almost 10 Ethereum, because this is 51.98. This is like 52. You know, it's gone up by almost 10 Ethereum, and there was a dip in the market. So you can see how NFTs can actually help you to like increase the value of your crypto if you grasp it very well. Now, even though the value of, remember, there are two ways to look at any crypto. You can look at the value in terms of dollars. If you look at, I mean, when there was a dip, this guy raised his prices for whatever, for a smart, I mean, he's a smart person now, of course, you know, but once the market picks up again and Ethereum goes to $5,000, he's not going to drop this to 42 again now. You think he will drop it? He won't now. Yeah. So this is how people build value.
And of course, the dollar value also goes up.
Yes, and the dollar value will go up with that.
As Ethereum is going up.
Yeah. So it is smart to, I mean, look at these apes. These apes are not aesthetically pleasing. They're not good looking. They're ugly, but it is 52 Ethereum. Sharp is either you take it or you come and window shop.
Wow. You know. That is over 100K at today's rate though.
Yeah.
In dollars.
Yeah. In fact, it's over 200K.
Yeah.
You know, but I mean, look at it. It is just to some people. Somebody will tell you, okay, let's click on this one, for instance. Somebody will tell you
200,000 plus.
Yeah. Somebody will tell you, maybe I can quickly download this thing. You know, if I click on this place, the picture will come out. Maybe make a right click and save as. Yeah, you can do it, but on the blockchain, you can't claim it's your own.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know. And I mean, look at the value. Look at the value of this thing. This was on in May when the product launched. You know, but it's been going up since. You know, I mean,
the chart. I mean, if you go back up a little, the chart alone, this chart right here.
Which one? This one?
Yeah. Just come back. Yeah. That place. I mean, I've never seen a chart like this. It's just straightforward.
You know,
no deep.
And make I talk to Yoruba. May God give us idea we go change our lives. I'm telling you, because these guys, when they started, if you go to the NFT marketplace, almost every project that is launching every other week will do something about ape. I told you I bought one strong ape club. It's because I can't afford it. I can't afford Bored Ape Yacht Club now. Every time I go strong ape club, you know. But these guys just revolutionized the market. Anything ape now, NFT project that is ape, there's a 55% chance that it will be very successful. Wow. Whether the developers or the guys know what they're doing or not, just because these guys have set the trend. Now, that one I was talking about with Adidas the other day. You know, Adidas actually bought that Bored Ape Yacht, that Bored Ape, that yellow one. They actually bought it about 3 or 4 months ago, and now they're using it to launch their stuff. You know, so let me go back to my slide. So this kind of that Bored Ape Yacht Club, you can use it to as a collateral. If I go to, you know, one of these banks in America now, and I tell them that, look, I have this asset, it's worth 42 Ethereum. They check it out, they do their due diligence, they realize that it is worth 42 Ethereum, and it is highly traded. You know, let me show you something else about. Let me just take you back to that place. Let's pick another one. I mean, see the way this one is going up. It's not a straight line like that one, but up is up. You know. Now, if we come to this place and we look at their activity, can you see? It's not even coming down. It's just around that 50. Up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. It went to 100, almost 100 at some point. But I mean, look at this place. Look at activity in the last, like, maybe a month or 3 weeks. You know, look at today, 1 hour ago. Can you see this? Yeah. Somebody bought it for 203K. You know, and it has been transferred from this guy to this guy. I mean, look at activity on a daily basis. Look at this 13 hours ago, 8 hours ago, 5 hours ago, 3 hours ago, 4 hours ago. You know,
this activity on this side is showing transfer of the assets, right? Somebody is sending Ethereum to the seller, and the seller is transferring the NFT to the person, right?
Yes, that's what it's showing. Okay, so let me just quickly explain this place. Look at it. It says sale. If it was a transfer, maybe you have 2 wallets and you move from one wallet to another. What you see here is transfer. But what we're seeing here is sale. And look at the price: 54 Ethereum, 58 Ethereum, 53 Ethereum, 65 Ethereum. Like that. Even the ones they were bidding on, this was the highest bidder at 46.9 Ethereum, almost 47 Ethereum. But look at this place. It's going from somebody that has a wallet on, that has like a marketplace on OpenSea to some other guy that has a marketplace on OpenSea. You know?
Yeah.
Let me just quickly check whether there's a celeb that bought any one of them.
So, and then, like you said in the last class, and like, and I understand, peradventure, the buyer, the person that bought it today wants to sell it again. The original owner of the NFT also have a percentage depending on the blockchain at the point when he's selling, depending on on how he has programmed it, right?
Yes. Okay, so let me just show you quickly. I'm trying to this thing will embarrass me, but I don't mind. Because if I click buy now, you know, this is decentralized. They don't know who I am.
Yeah.
But can you see what it says? Add funds. Because I connected my wallet to the, and he knows they're going to that's what the smart contract will do for you. It's go and check your wallet. You know, and then he will tell you to add funds. But assuming that there was enough money here and I clicked confirm to check out. In fact, this is what I'm looking for. Look at this, 2.5% royalty.
Oh, okay.
Can you see that? So even if this thing goes to $100 million or it goes to $1 trillion, the creators of this NFT project will continue to earn 2.5%.
Yeah.
So for them, now this Body Yacht Club, I think it sold for 0.08 Ethereum in May this year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It is something anybody could have paid for.
At the time.
At that time, just a few months ago. You know? So imagine, I mean, I don't know any trader on this planet that can turn 0.08. Okay, maybe if you buy shitcoins, let me not go and misyan. Maybe if you buy some shitcoins, you know, you can turn 0.08 Ethereum to 53 Ethereum by just buying an asset and keeping it. That's what most of these guys here have done. They just bought this asset and they kept it, you know. So let's go back to this thing. So you can use, the point I'm trying to make is you can use NFTs for collateral. So if I go to a bank now and I tell them I need equivalent of 10 Ethereum, that's about, let's just say $45,000, and I drop something that is 56 Ethereum, you think they won't give me?
Of course.
They'll give me now. They just want to be sure what they want to be sure of is, can we quickly sell this thing? Yes. And we have seen from the transaction that has happened on that particular one that I checked that this thing is liquid, so to speak. You know, so you can collateralize that, but see where this picture is so powerful. See where the metaverse will end up for some people, you know.
So there's an advert this Adidas advert that they had 3 of these apes, you know, they were dancing. So they already own those 3 NFTs, right?
Yes, and there are 3 different projects.
Okay.
You know, that's why they or should I play it again? That's why they showed their names.
Yeah.
You know, 3 different projects. But one of them was one of these Body Yacht clubs. Now, you know the amazing thing? the value of that particular one that Adidas owns, if they want to sell it today, it will be the most expensive ever. And the reason is simple. You can check a track record of the person that owned it before. So if they take it to Sotheby's, Sotheby's will tell you when they're marketing it, when they're, you know, the way they talk, speaking fast and talking to all those people that want to buy. You know, they'll tell you in the beginning that this thing was owned by Adidas at some point. That alone would drive up the volume, the value of that thing. Okay. As opposed to if it was owned by somebody like me that nobody really knows.
Yeah, I get it. Then one more question I love to ask. At a point, let's say I buy this, like the other one you showed, that the seller had already put 2.5% royalty, right?
Yeah.
Now I'm now the new owner, right?
Yeah.
So let's say like a year after, the value of that NFT probably has gone to 200 Ethereum, right? And I'm selling. At the point I want to resell, you know, the guy is going to get 2.5. I can I also, you know, on the contract, on the smart contract also, as a new owner and I'm selling to another person, can I also include my own royalty?
No, you cannot, because you won't even have access to the smart contract.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So now as a new owner, if I'm reselling probably after a year, probably it's like the NFTs now was say 100,000 for probably, let's say 100 Ethereum. I bought it at 50 Ethereum. Now when I'm selling, that's the end. I cannot earn again on it, like passively, like the owner will earn.
No, you can't earn again on it.
Oh,
and that is why, that is why when I was talking about in the last class, I was talking about generational wealth. These people that created a project, marketed it well, made a success of it. Those are the ones that will, you know, make the generational wealth.
Oh, okay.
If you, as a collector or someone that bought into the project, wants to take advantage of generational wealth, what you can do is do the kind of Snoop Dogg strategy. Buy a lot, create your own, you know, what's it called? Gallery or museum on the block, on the metaverse, and then drive traffic to it, let people come and experience your NFTs.
Okay.
You know, that way you can be making money by, you know, but anytime now, if these things, as long as nobody sells it, those guys are not making any 2.5% because it's tied to the sale.
Yeah. Okay.
You know? But the moment anybody sells it, the smart contract will just deduct. It will just deduct money from that 200. Assuming you sell it for 200,000 for 200 Ethereum, it will deduct 2.5% of that, send it directly to the wallet of those guys, and then it will take I think OpenSea takes about 5% or so, you know, of the royalties as well. So it will remove that 7.5% because you are selling it on their platform. You know, the advantage of selling on their platform is that you don't have to worry too much about advertising. People will come there and come and check it, you know. So they will take their own percentage, and then you get the balance of your profit, you know. So that's the thing about that. So what does non-fungible mean? If we compare crypto and fiat, we know that fiat 10 naira is 10 naira is 10 naira forever, you know. But crypto and fiat, they're fungible. $1, one USDT is one USDT is one USDT. One Bitcoin, even though the dollar value will change, it's still one Bitcoin forever. You know, so you can't really, if all of us come today and say, I can't say that is my own Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is Bitcoin is Bitcoin. It doesn't matter whether it is, and the same thing with 1 naira coin. 1 naira coin is one. I can't distinguish between 1 naira coin and another 1 naira coin. That's what it means to be fungible. It means it is divisible. It means it can be duplicated. It means that it is not unique, but it still has some value, you know.
Yeah. And
that's the major thing that will make NFTs forever greater than crypto, you know, because they're unique. You can always, now a lot of cryptos will be rubbish. A lot of NFTs too will be rubbish. But when you do your due diligence and you look at, you know, the project you're getting into, if it becomes successful, it is going to be very huge. So it is unique. It is rare, limited edition. Now, this Bored Ape Yacht Club, I think they did 10,000 of them. CryptoPunks too was just 10,000. There's some NFTs that are just 600. There's some that are just 3,333. It means that whatever happens, whether they sell out on their launch day or they don't sell out on their launch day, the number will not be more than 10,000 or whatever amount they minted or they have in their project. But there's some NFT projects where they don't sell out, but what they do is, okay, so they did maybe 9,999, and then they were able to sell out maybe 8,100. The remaining 1,899, they will burn it. So it will make the ones that people have paid for even scarcer than originally planned.
And even more expensive.
And even more expensive.
Okay.
You know.
So now, I think there's somebody wants to ask a question in the group. I don't know I saw can see one hand. So
okay, please unmute
what I
yourself
want you
and
to
ask.
Yeah, Dokun, what I want you to do now, probably we should just take some questions, right? Okay. And then after the questions, I want you to just probably break it down on your course, when you're launching your course, so because I want to believe that people want to learn how to get it, how can you probably sign up on OpenSea and how to the basics of Metaverse, and I want to believe you cover that in your course, right?
Yes, I will.
So okay, so let's just take some questions so that I don't know, probably if you have a question, you could I can see one, and let me see if I can track the person. I don't know who that person is. Okay, that's Israel. Israel, you can ask a question.
Hello.
Yeah,
hello sir.
Hello.
Go ahead.
Can you hear me?
Yes, you can hear you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, there was a connection you want to establish before the person talking interrupted. You were trying to establish a connection relating to Metaverse. So that was where I now raised my hand. I wanted you to, there was a nexus you want to establish why Metaverse would be much a better project before he asked you a question about the selling and then the 2.5 royalty, if he can be the beneficiary of that, and you explained to him. No, so there was something you want to establish that caught my attention. So I don't know if you can recall.
Okay, let me just scroll back and see whether it was okay. But all in all, the reason why the metaverse would be great is because number one, these guys are pumping billions into it, just like they pumped billions into crypto. They're pumping billions into it. That's number one. Number two, everything we currently do in our lives right now, that is what we'll be doing on the metaverse. So if you have a 9-to-5 job, there'll be 9-to-5 jobs on the metaverse. It's just that it will be different from some of the jobs they're doing today, but there will be a 9-to-5 job on the metaverse. If you have a business, you can set up your business on the metaverse. You can set up a store on the metaverse, but that store will require a location. It will require that you build it and stuff like that. So my approach is this. If you know that you want to, you have to be very strategic. If you know that you just want to be someone that is flipping NFTs, focus on flipping NFTs and use that to build capital, and then go and acquire some property and build it and set up a business. And if you have the resources to set up a business on the metaverse, go ahead and set it up. Now, you don't have to do it alone. You can collaborate. If 3 people can come together and buy land on the metaverse, it's just that you probably will use a multi-sig wallet that no one person cannot run away with or something, or maybe you trust yourself so much. But whatever it is that we're doing in our lives right now, they want us to move everything to the metaverse. So you need to think, what kind of value can I add? Remember, in the previous class, I said the people that will dominate the metaverse are business people and creative people. Creative people will make something that people will need and people come and buy. They don't have a problem. Business people need to find how to offer value to people that will be on the metaverse. And that is why all them Adidas and Nike are going in there, because they know that they are going to sell shoes. Even Yeezy will be there very soon. It's going to sell shoes. There's some organizations that are going to go and sell land, on the metaverse. There's some organizations that our job is just to sell land.
Okay. So
if you can go and buy land directly from the source, they will be like brokering deals. I'm listening.
Yeah, so okay. I think there's another person. Olumide also want to ask a question. Let me unmute him.
Okay, Olumide.
Olumide, are you there?
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good
Good
evening.
evening, Olumide.
Oh, okay. Thank you for the lecture.
You're welcome.
You were talking about ape. One of the picture you said one of them is ape. That you said a lot of things about it. I
Okay.
want to ask. There is this token, ape NFT.
Okay.
Okay. So what can you say about ape NFT? Is it part of this one you are talking about? Is it a different one? Because for some time, ape NFT has not really moved. So I wanted to tell me more about ape NFT regarding what you've been talking about.
Okay,
Or what?
let's just quickly go to CoinMarketCap and
Okay.
let's go and check Ape NFT. You know, let's just quickly check it on CoinMarketCap. You know, but at the stage they're at, I'm not sure that they have started creating a metaverse and all this kind of stuff, or a market. At the very worst, maybe they are, or rather at the very best, maybe they just have an NFT, I mean, a marketplace. I mean, look at the token. They're still very new, you know, so let's go to their website. And before we go to their website, I mean, we can come and see what it is they're doing. Look at the max supply, total supply. You know, market cap is less than 900K. You know, okay, so it's available on some of the big boys. You know, maybe like top 30. You know, they don't really give too much. Okay, so 2021. Look at this. They don't really have too much credibility yet. I'm not saying it's a bad project, but I'm saying that they don't really have too much credibility at the moment. I mean, investing in top NFT platform and artworks and incubating leading NFT artists. So they're not going to have their own metaverse, from what I can see here, before we even go to their website. What they want to do is they want to like invest in artworks and NFTs. So they'll probably be buying maybe some of those Bored Ape Yacht Clubs and CryptoPunks and co. And then they're going to create a bridge between world-class artists and the NFT world. So they're like middlemen. But this model, I don't really like it. You know why? Decentralization is what this space is about. If these middlemen, if these artists get small education, they won't need these people anymore. You know, so what they can do that may be nice, maybe sponsoring galleries, organizing art exhibitions. But this is exactly what Snoop Dogg is doing that he will be doing on Sandbox. You know, so I've heard about this project a lot. I've never really considered it as something that will blow. I may be wrong, but I don't know. I mean, look at how much maybe they will bond their token at some point, but look at this now. This is million, billion, trillion, almost 1 quadrillion, 999 trillion, billion, million, you know. It's dicey, it's kind of funny. And then look at how well it, okay, let me just check the year till date. Okay, well, there's liquidity in it anyway, but I'm not really going to put too much money in this kind of project, you know. So let's look at what they're doing here. Wink, strategic partnership, gallery. What they're doing, anybody that has small money can do it, or a group of people that come together and collab can do it. Open call for digital artists, they can do it. They don't even have a marketplace yet, you know. Strong, Party Ape Club, even the Tron Me Beat. A lot of these NFTs here are not even the top. And look at the NFTs they kind of like are affiliated with. These are not. I don't know any of these things. And then Tron, they're on Tron Network. I don't know. I don't know. You can put maybe $100 or something, or money you can afford to lose here, but I'm not going to recommend this. You know, I'm not going to recommend this by any means at all. You know, they want to do art storage now. If you want to go into NFTs and buy the biggest NFTs, let's go to fractionalart.com. Fractional.art rather. These guys, what they do is this. most of the big boys that have NFTs, their own business model is they'll curate those people's art and then they'll sell fractions of it. You know, they'll sell fractions of it to people. You know, so somebody might have an NFT that is worth maybe $100,000 or maybe like 100 Ethereum, and they'll sell 30% of that, and people will buy it. You know, and then it will be governed by, okay, so they have CryptoPunks here. Look at that. Okay, so these are the smaller, look at this for instance. They're bidding on this one. But I also know that they have a model where you can do fractional ownership. You know? I know they do fractional ownership where, you know, somebody brings his artwork and sells part of it. And then, you know, these guys are custodians of it. You see what happens to fractional owners after a successful auction. And so if you want to own some of these big projects, you can own a tiny fraction of it. Remember, you cannot break the art into tiny fractions because it is an NFT, but it has commercial value. You know, so look at this. This person is willing to sell 0.5 B of this, and then collectible supply is 0.07%. Implied valuation is, so people will buy 0.07% of somebody's ownership art, you know. That's a model that can work because some people that are crazy about just owning part of these punks and co and all these mutant ape and all this kind of stuff. So this is a model that I would consider investing in if I want to, you know, maybe buy into them or something, because number one, they can generate money from something that's already made money, you know. But before I go on, I've been talking about showing you guys a place where you can buy land. Okay, so let's just quickly come there. This is TCG World. You know, this is this company this business launched in September 2021 as well. You know, but they have 100,000 plots. They're already 10,000 members. There are 4 regions: the Forest region, North region, Asia region, East region. And you know, they have a contract address that you can look into. They're on some of these places that we are popular. I mean, we visit popularly, and you can buy an avatar. So this is, I mean, this is how, if you buy, I mean, look at this now. There are 859 left out of 1,000. So about 200, about 140 something have been sold. 141 or so have been sold. You know, but this is how they will look in that metaverse. You know, if you buy this stuff. But look at this. These ones are on pre-sale. You can buy this farm. You know, it's just 1 BNB. And I mean, only 5,200 are left out of 7,500. So if you want to, I mean, this is a metaverse that is affordable. You get, but it comes with its own risk because it has not been proven in time. It has not been tested. Winter has not come. It came in when NFTs were going up. You know, winter has not come. So you cannot really say that in 3 years this business will be in existence. You know, but you can buy into this metaverse.
This one is on the Binance Smart Chain, right?
Yes, this one is on the Binance Smart Chain.
Because I can see it's Binance are spending. All right.
You know. And
so,
of course, if you look at
I think there's one other person that wants to take a question. Ron Tech. Okay, let me unmute the person so we can move on. Ron Tech, you can ask a question. No? Hello.
Hello, good evening, sir.
Yeah, good evening,
sir.
Yeah. Sir, my question is concerning the land. Okay. I want you to just give me in a layman's simple term. Okay. That land, let's assume that I have 500,000 naira with me, cash, and I want to buy a land physically at my local area here. Now, but as I'm hearing on the land on Metaverse and every other thing now, then I assume that I want to use that money to buy land on Metaverse. Does it mean that land I can be there, or is it just a picture that is going to be sold to me, then is going to appreciate? So that issue of buying land on Metaverse or buying car on Metaverse or buying property on Metaverse, are they actually real, or is it just a picture?
No, these ones are not ordinary picture. Okay, so what will happen is this. When you buy this land, where Metaverse is really going, we're going to be wearing, okay, so for instance, you can see this one now. If you go on your computer and you go to tcgworld.com/marketplace, it will take you to this place. This is an experience that we're having right now. You can be watching the land and, is good, but this is not an immersive experience. I'm not really, I can't say I want to explore. If I buy this one, for instance, I can't say I want to explore this property now. I can only be using my hand to move my cursor across like you're seeing, So when you wear those gadgets, because there'll be physical gadgets you'll be wearing. Like I said in the last class, it is going to go from Oculus, that big bumpy thing that beggar was wearing. It will go to glasses. It will go to contact lenses. And then you'll be seeing things that the ordinary eye cannot see. They're not wearing that kind of thing. Now, by the time they get to that level with this project, you'll be able to enter your land. And that's why they're selling this avatar. You'll be able to enter the land as maybe this guy. This looks like a corporate guy. You'll be able to enter the land, and then you'll be able to, immersively explore this place. That avatar will be walking around as you, and you'll be meeting other people that are also doing the same thing, and you can even meet another person inside this property. Right now, I can't enter there because I'm in front of the screen, but with those gadgets, XR, extended reality, augmented reality, and virtual reality, you'll be able to enter these places and you'll be able to walk around and close a deal, and you just send the person your wallet address and you credit your wallet. So, look at this place now. This one that they're selling for 20 BNB, there's only 3 left. Honestly, if I was going to buy any of this property, now this one I go buy, because by next week it may not be available. It's 20 BNB, but do you know the caliber of people that will be here? I hope you see, this is like buying land in Banana Island. Because the kind of people that will buy here will probably be people that say, businesses will want to buy here, as opposed to all this 1 BNB land. Look at it now. This is 12,469. Only 2 plots have been sold in this Silver Asia. In this place, less than 1,500 have been sold, But look at the Platinum one. More than half has been sold. Look at the Diamond one. 3 has been sold. This is a perfect example of where to invest. In this whole TCG World Metaverse now, these 2 places are the best. If you can't afford this one and you can afford this one, you will get faster return on investment, because by the time this is fully sold, the value will skyrocket. So also, if you are a graphics person or an architect that knows how to do rendering and all this kind of stuff, you can actually make things like this and list them for sale on the Metaverse. You don't have to pay anything. Just sign up, enter as your avatar, and then create stuff that people can use. I don't know what this one looks like, Halloween kind of things. But if you create something that people can use, they can actually buy it from you and you can make money within the Metaverse. So you may want to explore this, but of course, it will say connect your wallet. You can come there and have a profile. You can come and create your profile there. Your assets will be here. Can you see it's saying a little empty here? Because I've not bought. I'm still thinking about, but now that it's a risk. I'm still thinking about it. I may not really, and I don't know yet, but at least there's land that everybody can afford there because it's 1 BNB. But make sure it's 1 BNB you can afford to lose, so that if this project collapses, well, it's just 1 BNB. And if it blows and it becomes 10 BNB, good for you. So there's that one. And then of course there's the central land, which is like the big boy part of NFT, of Metaverse. Can you see? People, this one is for sale. This is a gear that someone will wear. This is clothing. You see, can you see? It says trade virtual destination for digital assets. It says the virtual destination. So you can sell all these ones. It says buy and sell land estates, avatar wearables. That's what I was talking about in that previous Binance Metaverse. And names in the Decentraland marketplace. So you can make all these kind of things that people can wear and sell it.
So all these wearable, it will be shipped to the person. They are physical wearable that when they pay for it, they'll ship it to them. They can now wear it physically, right?
Not in the physical world, in the Metaverse. They're wearables for the Metaverse.
Oh, yes. They're wearable. Wow.
Yes,
so now,
Metaverse.
in answering the previous question, what you said was, when you wear the physical wearable, you can you can actually go into your land and you have a feel of that land, right?
Yes.
Okay.
That one is a physical wearable that you wear on planet Earth, not in the metaverse.
Oh, okay.
Yes, right, but what that one will do for you is it will make you, okay, like for instance, where I am now, I have a desk in front of me, there's a laptop in front of me, I'm sitting on a chair, because I'm in a physical universe. Now, if I don't have those wearables, I will not be able to enter the metaverse, to sit down, to touch something. Remember in the last lecture, I was talking about how you'll be able to touch something and feel it, because you still need to buy some physical things like sensors that will help you to feel. So for instance, if all you have is just Oculus that will help you to, at least explore your land, explore the metaverse, that's fine. But if you don't buy those haptic suits that will help you to feel stuff, you may not be able to enter a shop and touch something because you don't have what will help you feel, And so beyond investing in the metaverse, companies that will do this kind of stuff, that sell all those physical assets that will power the metaverse, you need to invest in them and buy their stocks as well, because they are the companies of the future. And that's why one of my best investments this year has been Meta Hero. Meta Hero, they have chambers that you can enter into the chamber, you wear this haptic suit, it will scan you, it will turn you into an NFT, and then you can enter. And if you say that, okay, I don't want to enter the metaverse as a monkey, I want to enter the metaverse as myself, looking like me, if that is what you want, you can actually, use Meta Hero's chamber, enter into their chamber, and then scan yourself, rather than look like an ape, or like this one looks like Mr. T, rather than look ugly like this, you can actually look like yourself, and enter the metaverse. It will be on that blockchain. So if it is an Ethereum blockchain, it will be so that it will fit into the Ethereum metaverse. Metaverse is on Ethereum. If it is Binance Smart Chain that is also similar to Ethereum, it may be able to fit, But if it's on a different platform, you may have to, do something that goes along with that platform, that syncs with that platform, So that is another thing you need to look into.
All
now,
right.
what? Okay.
So Doku, because of time, I don't know.
All right.
We've already spent over an hour. So I just wanted to just talk about, give us, when is your course going to be ready, so that people can have it in a break. Because I know that personally, I know that people just a 1 hour webinar like this, you cannot understand. Everybody can understand, because this is still looking like you preach to a lot of people.
Yeah, I understand.
So now, I want to believe that your course will give you a breakdown. How do you register on all these platforms, on OpenSea, on Decentraland, on how can you acquire all these things? I know that's what everybody wants to know. So when is your course going to be ready, so that as soon as it's ready, people, because ever since we had the first class, I've had people chat me up. I just want them to hold on. So over to you.
Okay, so by third week, by middle and third week of December, it will be fully ready. And what you will learn in there is something that's more of experience than just slides. So we'll actually go into the different platforms. We'll talk about the strategies you can use if you want to start flipping NFTs, buying and selling it for a profit, there's a way to go about it. We'll talk about how to go about it. We'll talk about, how to, of course, we talked about how to protect yourself, but we'll show how to protect yourself in that video, in those videos as well. We'll show you also, how to, all the basic stuff, like how to connect your wallet, how to secure your wallet, all those things will be there in the course. And it's not just going to be a one-off course. As things are changing, for everybody that buys into the course, we'll be updating, and it will be free for you as well. So I believe in giving people more in use value than in cash value. So whatever new update is done, we'll be adding it to the videos that you'll be watching as well. But the idea is, by the end of the course, you'll be a master of this thing.
Okay. Hello?
Yeah, hello.
Okay, so you are saying the second or third week, right, of this month, right?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So because of the length of the class, I'll put it up on YouTube, so everybody can listen to it over and over again. Why we're anticipating your when your course is ready, I'm also looking forward to it. Also, I'm also interested. So I don't know, maybe we'll just take one or two more questions, then we'll call it a day. Then
okay, let me just quickly chip in that the course will the reason why it hasn't yet come out is because we're doing modules that you can easily consume and enjoy. It won't be a lengthy 1 hour project like this. It will be like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, something you can actually learn from and go and apply, or you can be applying it as you're watching.
Green Life. Somebody on the chat is saying that we need also to know how to create NFT. So your course, are you going to be mentioning how to create NFT too?
Yes, that's going to be a part of it as well.
Okay.
We'll teach you how to create NFTs. But one thing you need to realize about NFTs is this. If you need to have a community, NFTs are powered by communities. Okay? So if you invest in building a community, you are more powerful than an NFT artist, because you can bring an NFT artist to your art. You don't have to be an artist, but if you have a community of 1,000 people that are art lovers, and you educate them, you talk about the risks and all of that, and then you bring an artist on your platform to sell his art, and you say, okay, for all of this art that we sell, I'm getting so and so percentage. You'll be more powerful than the artist himself that doesn't have a community. Of course, the most powerful person will be the artist that has his own community. So communities are very important. There are a lot of people that flood OpenSea every day with their art, and nobody goes there. So community is very important, because you need to get people within the community to buy into the art, and then they can now spread the word. And then if you do any kind of advertising, it becomes worth it. Sure, you understand?
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I mean, creating an NFT is easy. This is
just like what you're saying. Just like if you create a token, you don't have a community to drive it. You can create a token, and you are launching it, and there's no community to drive that token. You will not it will not sell. It will not take off.
Yes.
It will not take off. Yeah, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. So what we'll be talking about is also, if you really believe in it and you want to go for it, go for it by all means. Not the worst case that will happen is you get experience that is valuable. But there are other strategies that you can use to also sell your art. You can partner with people, but just know that you're not doing it for maximum profit, because see it as you are trying to get exposure, and you are trying to get into the market and get your name out there. But anybody can sell art. You don't need to be an artist. You can commission somebody to create art for you, and then you can put it on there and sell it. If you're a marketing person, you can come together and form a team, and push this thing. So there's so many opportunities in the course. We're going to be talking about the different. I have experience on Cardano, on Solana, on Ethereum, on a few other blockchains. So, and they have their dynamics. They're a bit different from each other. So all of those things will be. You see everything I know about this thing is what you see, and then how you can find the best projects to go into. There was a project that I knew from the beginning that I was going to fail. And as of today, the guy that did the project, they have taken people's money and they've abandoned them in the in the social media platform where they all gathered them. But there were signs that were pointing to the fact that this will fail, because I have been into a project before where I lost money, and I took time to record the whole process. I went back to say, why did this thing fail? Which signs did I ignore? What did I ignore? What did I not pay attention to? Because all those signs will be there.
Okay.
Yes. So all of those things are what will be in that thing. And as this thing is growing and as it is expanding, I'll be creating more videos and just giving it to all the people that buy into the project.
All right, thank you. And then I think there's another question. Maybe this will be the last question before we call it a day. Agbara is to say, is NFT are powered by community, as you say? What about Decentraland? Mr. History, Decentraland also has built a community, Abby. So yes, I think it's a community of buyers and sellers. It says in the metaverse, is the metaverse market for now. I see Mana, Sandbox driving the industry. Of course, Mana and Sandbox have, they really come a long way, and they built a reputation over time. So it's expected that they are they'll be one of the top guys that'll be driving that industry. So thank you, Dokun. And before we go, sometime this week, there's a project that I want the communities, I want you guys to be part of, where you could, it's massive. And it's something I've been looking at for some couple of days and weeks. And I'm going to throw it open during the week, where you could also earn extra income. If you know me very well, I'm the kind of person that I love multiple streams of income. So another multiple streams of income on your phone. Your phone will be making money for you. But during this week, we'll be talking about that. Dokun, so lastly, somebody said how much will the cost? I think that's very important. Even me, I've not asked you. So how much are you going to be charging us? Let us know so that we can.
Bro, honestly, I've not thought about it. I haven't thought about it at all.
Okay, please make it affordable for everybody.
But I'm going to discuss with you as well.
Okay.
Because I honestly, before God and man, I've not even thought about how much price I'm going to put on it. What I just know is that whatever amount you're buying it for, you're going to get more value than what you're paying. I promise you that one. And also because we're in the same family, I can't sell it at the price I'll sell to people that are not in the.
All right, and then don't forget, like I said, the last class, try and create a group also. By the time you're launching your course, for number one, for support, the number two, for so that you could also have a community of people that you're working with, so that you never can tell if you want to launch anything, everybody will be part of it.
Okay.
All right. So, and then they say, I think Dokun is on the group. If you're on the paid group, you should be able to know him.
Yes, I'm on the group.
So you see him. This thing is limitless, so you can always chat him up. I don't know. So and then as soon as we are done, I'm going to upload this video on YouTube and drop it on the group so that you guys can watch it over and over. And I believe even on this free this thing, I believe when we would have learned one or two things. So everybody, thank you for coming. Thanks for sharing your knowledge. God bless you.
You're welcome. Thank you for the opportunity as well.
So guys,
I'll discuss with you about the pricing and all of that.
All right, no problem. So this week, don't worry. There's another project where you can earn while you are sleeping, you're earning money. So we'll be talking about that one this week. Probably on Wednesday or Tuesday. I'll find time to talk about it.
Okay.
All right. So good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Let me unmute everybody to say good night. So I can't find. Anyway, good night, though.
Good night, everybody.
Yeah, good night. Yeah.